Imagine you're in a high-stakes poker game. You've been playing two hands, but suddenly, you fold one to go all in on a single legendary card. That's Nuvectis Pharma in 2026. They've cut the noise, silenced the skeptics, and focused their entire concentration of force on a single clinical frontier. I'm your analyst from HDIN Research, and today, we're dissecting the anatomy of a pivot that could redefine oncology.
We aren't just looking at spreadsheets today. We're following a trail of breadcrumbs from a massive market complication to a scientific moat that's harder to cross than the English Channel. From the scientific moat of NXP900 to the financial waterfall that keeps the lights on, here's our mission briefing. In the cancer world, finding a target is easy. Keeping the cancer from finding a back door to survive? That's the nightmare. We found a hole in the industry's pocket the size of a crater. It's called acquired resistance. But Nuvectis claims to have the key to lock that door forever. Most CEOs would rather walk on coals than admit a drug failed. But Nuvectis, they treated the failure of NXP900 like a strategic masterstroke. They cut a $100 million program not because they were losing, but because they found a faster horse. Now, the margin for error is zero. Enter NXP900. If the oncology market is a highway, this isn't just a new car. It's a jet engine strapped to a bicycle. Let's look under the hood. Think of standard drugs, like a stop sign. Cancer cells eventually just drive around it. NXP900 is different. It locks the protein in a shape where it physically cannot function. It's like taking the engine out of the car instead of just hitting the brakes. What's the wow factor? First, it's a scientific moat. Second, it plays well with others, specifically the world's best-selling lung cancer drugs. And third, they own the rights until 2036. That's a decade of monopoly. Look at this chart. Their competition looks like they're playing JV while Nuvectis is in the NBA. At 150 milligrams, we're seeing 90% inhibition. Their rivals? They're barely hitting 30%. That's not a gap. That's a canyon. Mark your calendars. Q4 2025 is the combo catalyst. If the data from the lung cancer study hits, the valuation won't just move. It will teleport. Let's talk about the grain in the silo. They spent $18 million on science and only $9 million on office stuff. In biotech, that's a beautiful ratio. They're putting their money where the molecules are. Here's the wow factor. They have enough cash to buy a Tesla for every person in a small town. But in the world of clinical trials, $31 million is a thin cushion. Expect them to ask the market for more gas by mid-2026. This is what we call a lean machine. 66% of every dollar goes into the lab. They've trimmed the fat so well that they make other biotechs look like they're on a permanent vacation. They aren't trying to beat the giants. They're trying to join them. By combining with drugs like Tagrisso, they're aiming for the 20% of patients who currently have zero options. The prize? A $4.2 billion market. To put that in perspective, that's enough to buy a private jet for every single employee in the company and still have billions left over. This isn't a niche. It's a continent. Time for a reality check. In biotech, you're one bad lab result away from a for sale sign on the front door. Regulation, dilution, and competition, the three horsemen of biotech risk, are all here. As the CEO puts it, they aren't building a drug. They're building an engine. And that engine is designed to stop cancer's survival mechanism in its tracks. We've covered the science, the money, and the risks. What did we miss? Drop your questions below, and let's start the debate. Is the pivot genius or desperate? For the full 100-page data model and our forensic financial audit, reach out to us at HDIN Research. The future of oncology is being written right now. Don't be the one reading about it in 2030.